Impa.
Oh, come on.
Last they dreamed.
Oh, they dream.
They get dream. And this is Dolpo Tenzin Norbu. And here is Pema Zen.
Oh.
He worked 2 years in the museum.
Oh.
In this museum.
What?
Yeah, you can see some images that, like this from the other side. These are.
Modern. Oh. Listen, this is news, man, right? This is news. Just somebody.
Yes. This is my identification. Maybe I made a mistake, but after doing some research. And here we explain how.
What the material is powder?
Yes,
stone.
stone. Yes. It's shown here also.
Stone is very difficult to paint.
And very expensive also.
They have a way. Is the way they're doing this stone painting.
Some is brought from Japan, depending on the colors. Different countries, but
no, I mean
every painter buys it
and
here. They buy it themselves.
here or not?
They have to pay them. I mean, of course, the museum that pays the painting. Different steps. See how so that they understand how this process so magnificent are made.
Smart. Single.
Yes, all these pieces belong to the museum. All and everything that we are showing. We can walk down.
아마 그게 RUBIN 전주칸기 우리 남아나 네 요즘 전주 이 벽이 지조 제유이 네 소개 우스나마다 소슈 행기에 된데 제가 가보죠. 대대를 삼디슈기 담대니 네 그런데 네 RUBIN 전주칸기 미세 그래서 야페야 한미세기 또야 그다음에 차야 미세대야 같이 앞에 지자스 이제 거기야 그냥 그 스모어다 차야 나마다
新生大多的反应，我们对的场很谦虚。
So first, I'd like to welcome all of you to the RUBIN Museum, particularly the staff members of the RUBIN Museum, then the representatives from the Tibetan government, and the other various members of the Tibetan community, and so forth. And I would also like to wish all of you a greeting of Tashideli, and especially thank all of the Tibetans who have come here, and there are, I think, more than 100 who have come here today, so thank you to all of you.
And the how Sawa Kalangi in the Dingo Pasu Sun in Zambi, and Shajo on the Chili, Yuzange, Jingzanga, and Tungongi, and Chawu, Lama the Piji, Donda, as you said, Jana, houses cats, but the being now, any baby is a moment in a do. H.K. Dhamma, Sarah Ang Chuju Benande, and a gay Dhamma, the usual has to be said. He so gave a cutting you, as he gave you, a cutting you, Yamatima, and people to each other. Dinyamo, Dinangi, who can charge the exact so the Chera, France getting Bezukana, Chera, Inji getting Bezukana, Yasashi, equal.
So the Drikung manuscripts date from the 8th century. Drikung lies today in Gansu province in China, on the Silk Road, what we know as the Silk Road. And it's about 25 kilometers to the east of the junction of what it's like the north and south, and there was also a middle Silk Road route. So about 25 kilometers east of that fork. Then there's a series of caves. And in Chinese, we often refer to the caves as the 1,000 caves. So perhaps originally there were more than 1,000 caves. And in cave number 17, which is known as the secret cave, or the secret library cave. And in this library cave, they found a whole stash of ancient manuscripts. And of these, perhaps 50% of them are now, written in over 14 different languages, different manuscripts in over 14 different languages. And so parts of these manuscripts now have been scattered around the world, and we would say about 50% are held in France and the other half in London.
There is the last intervention by Usho Vincentarlo.
Loni Sichkonla Gesa any any symbol Sonsen Gabu Sumo Pebe Lubu Loni Jik Tonju. Dishi Sun Chebe Yana any Gesa Aji Gesa di Yana Komarangi in Semu Maibache and Kome Kumje Jiki in Semuchik any Kome Semuria and Tisue Cheche and Shine and Pebe Lubu the ditch Quibus to Did all Luchi any Komba Kari, Konju Kari, any Donha Jada, Yanagi, Lubu Kundena, the Degich, Gesa called Mixing and the Lubu
Yes, I want to be the social Gyalwa Drikung, Yanzen TV, Omodi, Holiness Gyalwa Drikung Holiness Gyalwa 이제 이 다음 주에도 담당 배우는 로키로 다시 오서 내가 딱 내서는 그 미산 김산지기 이임받아다 년무 시제기요. 오늘은 디네서 때는 말도 거수고. 수야 가다서는 다음 주에 와서는 가는 별제로 별 내주 양신기입니다. 아시아기 신기요네. 이제 다음에 아시아 제야시다. 그래서 아시아 이 사와 탈람기 계지 사람들 하이브리드 이 캐치먼 이나 야나 슈들이야 그거 제주 한국 시서 너무 가리안 그러잖아 디그레스나 때문에 여기다 아시아 요지대로서 가는 안에 벌써 별의 대주만 별의 나기대 맛이 근데 아시아도 때야 배치 이 학원이 선생님 남사 마치자 아시아도 마치고 아시아가 그러잖아 그 메신저스 상으로 그 주때 주어 야나로 마치는데 파주 때야 지금 지금 두개 숨주 수강하는 데에 오늘 막 별태에 가는 지금 두개 쉽게 생기는 것도 야스 공주 랩도 막 이번에 로기에서 맞게 돼. 맞게 되네. 타마타마데 제 이거는 야나 써야 돼. CG로 가서 이제 이슈장을 뒤쪽으로 가지만 가면은 이제 좀 아이는 어디에 다른 신들의 이 하다 이제 sab시아로 이 망성망생이고 이 하다 경쟁 부분이지 이다 예배디 이사마 말에 이게 무슨 상호 루기 계란 루이는 마티지 유제유 이다 그 전부다 다시 이 경쟁 부분에서 이나 계란을 약하게 예 그런 책 기대지는 예배니는 누구면 이제 상선체제 종간을 주지 계란을 하고 내 부모들이 끼어 동안은 주거 종간은 마음을 제때 지금 맞게 나 니도 춘춘춘이 있어야 돼 맞아 로교다 개버 제버 지기죠 어디 말하다 마우스 요소 망치 뒤뒤 농공 이제 신주 생각하는 거는 유인계지도 태면도 아니 야사 공주도 배지 독스 인기도 찍어서 있나 그래도 배지 인기도 야나 프랑스 루피나는 한사사 시도 예서지도 마시고 받는 아니 아다디 예서 팀만도 뭔가래서 야나 한사사 시도 사실 로디 예가는 데시유다 이제 마우스 만세 해볼 슈스도 슈가 나서 이 루팅 고도 나서 남 나서지 해서다 조회가라 예유를 슈스도 예보들 같은데 이나 이제 보셔야 돼. 제지 너 사람 개물 나게 되는 거 같아. 좀 내가 하고 말아. 근데 소문이야. 제대로 제 맞대자. 네가
And so the question was about Gyalwa Drikung, or the princess, the Chinese princess who comes to marry Sultan Mongol. And there's a Chinese soap opera version that's been filmed a few years ago, in which it shows that Gyalwa Drikung is actually not the Tang Emperor's daughter, but rather his niece or something, who's then he adopts her and then sends her to Tibet as his daughter. Is there any discussion of this in Dunhuang or Dunhuang documents? What if Chinese sources, for instance? So His Holiness answers that there's it seems that Princess Wenqing, her Chinese name is Wenqing Gongju, so it seems that she's a relative of the Chinese emperor. And then we always say that she came to Tibet, and then at that time then the Tibetan and Chinese empires became they formed this bond, they became relatives or related to each other, and then everything was happy from then on. But actually, her arrival in Tibet is really, or rather, trying to bring her to Tibet is the beginning of the war between the two countries. Because Tibet had asked for this princess from the Chinese emperor, and he at first he didn't really know about Tibet, so he instead went to give a princess as a bride to the king of Asha. The Tibetan name is this Turkish kingdom. The Tibetan name is Asha. The Chinese name is Tuyuhun. And so, in any case, they were very closely located to the Silk Road, and so the Chinese really wanted to have influence in that area. And so they first sent this princess to them. And so, first, the Tibetans came to the Tang court and asked, please give us a queen, a Chinese princess. And they said, okay, but then right after that, the emissaries from Asha came and asked for a queen. And so then they just kind of ignored the Tibetans, gave a queen to Asha, and tried to kind of ignore the Tibetans because they didn't really know what the situation was in Tibet. They didn't really have any idea what was going on in Tibet. And so, actually, it looks like Tibet first asked for this princess in 635, but it wasn't until 642 or something that Princess Linton actually arrived in Tibet. So those 8 years, a lot of them were spent in military disputes over whether or not she would be able to come. So in any case, there is this mini-series with I think 25 episodes or something, and there are all kinds of stories in there. Most of it, I think, is just kind of folktale. But there's a lot with these princesses that come from China. There's also Jinjing Gongchu, who came during the time of Emperor Mongsun Wangzhen. And her father had been under some kind of house arrest or something, and the Chinese, like he wasn't allowed out of the palace or something. He had been a minister. And then eventually he was released from his imprisonment, and then at that time his daughter was chosen to be sent to Tibet as a bride. But if you look at the documents at that time, then the Tibetan Emperor Drikung Kyabgon was only like 7 or 8 years old. So the Chinese were kind of amazed. You know, his mother, who was Empress Trimolu, we haven't pictured her, but maybe we're out of time. But she had sent, immediately upon the death of her husband, when she took over the throne, she had sent an envoy to China asking for this princess for her son. And the Chinese were kind of amazed that, you know, the way they, so here she is. So in any case, then when the princess arrived in Tibet, the Tibetan emperor was apparently residing in Belpo, which could be understood as a name for Nepal, or it could be somewhere else. There's a lot of discussion of where is Belpo. So in any case, it seems like, you know, neither the emperor knew, you know, neither the queen nor the emperor really were in control of it. It was kind of these political alliances being decided maybe by other people sometimes.
Great translation.
That's good. That's good. The book is wonderful. I read it last week. It's really wonderful.